Hello once again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Nürburgring for round number 5 of the Formula A World Championship. This is the German Grand Prix. The weather has thrown the race ahead of us into chaos. The rain has been coming non-stop for the last 20 minutes or so, and so we'll experience a wet race for the first time this season, so hopefully we'll get a more exciting run out on track here today. Let's have a look at that wet track then, the Nürburgring, a 5.1 kilometer circuit here in Nürburgring, Germany. 15 corners, 6 to the left and 9 to the right stand before our points 2 drivers who await the long run to turn 1, but they'll contest 12 laps here today in their attempt to be crowned the victors. Formula 1 returned here last year amid the COVID-19 pandemic for the EFL Grand Prix, which saw Lewis Hamilton tie Michael Schumacher's win record and Daniel Ricciardo recording Renault's first podium finish since their return to the sport in 2016. A look now to the starting grid ahead of Lights Out. It's Sophie Sevilla on pole position looking to record her second win of the season, and it's championship leader Alexia Pernay in second. Their teammates Chloe Thomas and Milton Verve start behind them in our closest top 4 yet. Moving now on to row number 3, Sergio Arbeloa, who won last time out the Tuscan Grand Prix Mugello, with Luca Gatto recording his best qualifying in 6th place, with Mohamed El Hadri starting alongside Oscar Diaz just behind them on the 4th row. Pascal Becker finally gets himself back into the top 10 this weekend after 2 torrid qualifying performances in the last few races. He starts 9th, with Jaguar RT's Scott Price starting alongside him. Liam Turton and Max Schmidt both scored points last race. They'll have another chance to do so starting from row 6. Miguel Allen starts 13th for Axel 76 with the third new point scorer Nathan Digno 14th. Joe Daly had a bad day yesterday. He starts in 15th while Milan's teammate Lucas Favorani in 16th. Eduardo Melo is yet to score points for XCT. He'll have a hard time doing that starting 17th. Bruno Cabral 18th, also yet to score this season. There's Eric Turner for Ruiz and William Evans for Abbey Academy on row number 10. And finally on row 11 we have the 2 Morimotos of Luigi Marchetta and Riku Tanaka rounding them out. So with that, let's go down to the grid for Lights Out to start the race. We're yet to have a rainy race, or race with rain on the track in Formula A, so today will be the first one here at the Nürburgring, and it's Sophie Sevilla and Alexia Pernay, 2 title rivals, looking to lead us in towards the first corner for the German Grand Prix, round number 5 of the season. Lights out, race on, and we go underway. Sophie Sevilla pulls away on the start, away from Pernay down towards the first corner, and going down towards... Listen to me. Arbeloa running P4, looking to try and make a move to the inside, and there's contact, and around goes Max Schmidt and the Ruiz behind him. He's going around in continuous circles there. I don't know who hit him from behind, but he's somehow managed to save that. That was incredible driving through turn 1 there. But Max Schmidt dropping to the back of the pack very early on, but it's Sophie Sevilla who's pulled away on the start. And what a getaway we've seen from the Spaniard, who's trying to equal Alexia Pernay's run of 2 race victories. Of course, she took her first win in Australia. Arbeloa won last time out at Mugello, but here in the Nürburgring it looks like Abbey Grand Prix are back in control. Of course, it won't be easy because the 2 Team Apex cars breathing down their necks. Verve actually lost a place in the start. He's down into P5. Here comes Pernay though, looking to try to make a move. She looks to the outside. Sevilla holds the inside line, cuts her off, and that's very good defensive driving from the Spaniard, and that is the reason why she's still holding on to this lead on the opening lap of this race. Very good start. Pernay looking around, trying to find some way to get closer to the Spaniard in front of her. Sevilla still leading the way. Pernay looking to the inside and back to the outside again. And that move, that sudden change in line may have been the reason why she's still running second place, because she could have tried to make a move there, but then she would have risked contact ending the race of both cars. Sevilla still leading here as we come through start the last sector of the lap. And the Frenchwoman were looking to close in. Sevilla running that inside line every single time just to make sure that Pernay can't go for any late dive bombs. She's going to have to be careful going down towards that first corner, because you can bet that Pernay will try and make a move. The top 4 are all single file here as we round the final corner to complete the first lap of the German Grand Prix here at the Nürburgring. And it's producing a very exciting first lap for us so far. Pernay running second still, looking to try and make that move into turn 1. She's not close enough. Sevilla defending very well there. Here comes Liam Turton. He's putting up into the points in the start, and he's looking to try and pass Scott Price in the Jaguar RT. He leaves it late and gets inside, very near to contact. Price runs way wide there, and that's going to allow Liam Turton up into the points playing positions, and Scott Price drops back to, I think that's 12th, maybe 13th. I believe that is P12 for Scott Price. Not the best start to the second lap that he would have wanted, but he's now got to get his head down and try and gain those positions back as quickly as he can. Sevilla still running in that lead position. Pernay still right there, looking to try and force an opening. This could be one of the best opportunities for her to attack throughout the lap. Very close to contact once again. Sevilla running slightly off our line there. Had to brake big time going into that right-hander. And off the corner they come. The top 5 or 6 still very close together. And at this point, anyone's game, but Sophie Sevilla controlling the way so far. And there's a fire in the back of Liam Turton's car. The Thornton up in smoke here at the Nürburgring. And just after moving up into the points, and he took points last time out, and he was hopeful to possibly get 2 points finishes in a row today. But this is going to end those hopes. We have no idea where that's come from. It's some kind of just a fire in the back of the car. He's going to have to pull over and tire that thing. I don't see how he can keep going at this point. The race is over for him. But you got a feel for Liam Turton, who could have scored a second points finish in a row, out of the race instead here at the Nürburgring, as he allows the entire field by. And it's just a poor run today for the Brit, whose race ends 2 to 3 laps early. Sophie Sevilla sets the fastest lap meanwhile up front, but the race is over for Liam Turton. He pulls his car over to one side, the car up in smoke. Someone's got to go over there and extinguish that. No doubt we'll have one of the masters on that in a moment. And yep, here comes one now, and he'll be able to get the car over to one side safely. Liam Turton, though, out of the race. And with that, we have our first retiree, but not due to the wet weather on the track. An oil leak is what has put Turton out of the race and out of contention for points. With that, let's shake up the order a little bit. So the top 3 still maintaining their position from the start. Arbeloa has gained one at the expense of Milton Verve. Manuel Hadro passed Luca Gatto on the opening lap. Pascal Becker moved up from 9th to 8th. Oscar Diaz lost that place, and Mick Walland started 13th. He's up to 10th. Doing a very, very good job there to try and get those points home for Axel 76. But we're still very early on in this race. Anything can still happen, and in Formula A, it usually does. Sevilla still controlling this thing. She's built a bit of a gap to Pernay now, nearing a second. She's going to be desperate to keep that lead going for as long as she possibly can, try to stretch it a lot further if she can. But Pernay needs to find the extra speed in the back of that apex in order to try and swipe the lead away from Sophie Sevilla. Of course, she'll be looking behind her at the threat of Chloe Thomas. Of course, the championship of the constructors has been changing hands race upon race. Right now, it's battle between Abbey Grand Prix and Team Epix UK for the constructors championship lead, with Fireside lurking there in third, quite a way back due to the poor performances of Pascal Becker in recent races. The gap down to just half a second now. Pernay closing in down towards the first corner. She just set the fastest lap of this thing. Then begin lap 12. We're just under a quarter of the way into this thing. A mistake from Sophie Sevilla in the wet weather could easily cost her the lead this early on in the race. But as we said, there's a lot of racing still to go and a lot of action to still take place. Through the opening sector we go then. It's still Sevilla in control. Both her win in Australia definitely required complete control at the hands of that Abbey Grand Prix machine. And surprise, surprise, it was also her holding off Alexia Pernay. Of course, that was in dry weather on a generally faster track. And this track can be quick, but obviously in the wet weather, a certain level of control is required. And Sevilla seems to have that in abundance, and that's why she's still leading this race, because Pernay just can't seem to keep up. Of course, her defensive driving on the first few laps was second to none, but Pernay now seems to be closing in, so she may have to use that talent that little bit more in order to keep her at bay. Down the straight they come. Pernay still closing in. If she can stay close, she could have a really good chance of taking the lead down the home straight when we come back around to start the 5th lap. But as of now, she's got to bide her time and lie in wait and hopefully try and close that gap a bit more and not go making any rash moves unless she feels like she can take the lead from where she is now. Here she comes now. Will she pull to the inside? Sevilla defending inside instead, leaving Pernay's got a long way around through the chicane there, and Sevilla's built that lead right back up, and Pernay could be in trouble here because Chloe Thomas will be looking to pounce at that last corner. The South African, known for her overtakes in the lower divisions. As we round the last corner now, Sevilla still leading this thing. She's built our gap back up to about a second. Going down in towards turn number 1, it's still Chloe Thomas trying to move up into second place. She's not going to get there. Still Sevilla in complete control by almost a second due to Pernay going for that position when it was not the time to go for it. Chloe Thomas moving around, trying to find an opening, trying to get around Alexia Pernay as soon as she can, because of course a 1-2 finish for Abbey Grand Prix would do wonders for them, the constructors, and it will help Chloe Thomas herself move up some places. Of course, she's running slightly further back there in the championship, still doing a very good job for the team she's at, but she would like to be up there personally in the championship fight herself. So we've seen our three main contenders so far for the driver's title being Pernay, Sophie Sevilla and Sergio Arbeloa, who of course won at Mugello to put himself up to second in the championship. As of now, he looks like he's going to be set to lose that. Coming into this thing, it was I believe it was 18 points separating Sophie Sevilla from Alexia Pernay in the championship. And of course, this would be a good opportunity for the Abbey Grand Prix driver to close that gap. It would be 7 points between the first and 7 points bringing up between the first and second place positions. It was 25 for the victory and 18 for second place. It should bring the gap back to 11 points as of now. Bruno Cabral here has a rear mirror full of William Evans, who makes the move there up into P20. Very good stuff there by the American. He's up into 20th place. And that was a very good move from a long way back for the Abbey Academy driver. Of course, his teammate Nathan Dugnot scored points last time out for Abbey Academy, and he'll be looking to replicate his teammate as soon as he can to prove that he just as good as his French teammate. Up the last corner, it's still Sevilla in control. We begin at lap number 6. The rain has started to come to the circuit. It's actually started into some spray now as opposed to just a wet track we had at the start of this thing. And that could lead to some mistakes here as Sophie Sevilla runs way off her line. And may that allow Pernay to close in or not. It looks like Pernay's right back up there now, and this could be a very good chance for her to attack as Pascal Becker goes wide off his line, and that has allowed, I believe that's Oscar Diaz through up into P8, and Becker now back to P9, back to where he started, back to square one. And now has to get his way back around the XCT driver as soon as he can in order to score those extra 2 more points in the championship. So of course Becker hasn't had the best of races recently, in case you haven't seen those. Pernay now still trying to get closer. We see this from the onboard camera on Chloe Thomas's car. Here they come through the right hander. Pernay going slightly lower on the track than Sevilla going into the corner, but on exit both running the exact same line as Luigi Marchetta looks to pass his teammate Riku Tanaka, who's just made his way around him. Tanaka doing an incredible job for his rookie season, given the machinery he has, and that Honda engine in the back of the motor machine. Always finding himself moving up, despite not being the best man on Saturday. On Sunday, he definitely knows what he's doing. Marchetta now looking to the inside, trying to move in. Tanaka going all the way up the track. The defensive line he was doing work just fine, and that has cost him here. Marchetta moves up into P18, and the veteran Italian showing his stuff in the back of that motor car. Chloe Thomas now still running third. She's scored a few podiums so far this season, and she's been doing a very good job. A victory or two, and she could be right up there with the front runners and in conversation for the championship. We've now reached the halfway mark of this race, and it's still Sophie Sevilla out front. Pernay still running second. Chloe Thomas still third, holding on far below her. Pernay closing in now, going down in towards the first corner. Sophie Sevilla going a lot wider. Pernay trying to move inside, but doesn't quite get there. She would have run the outside line if she managed to make the pass, or managed to get closer to make the pass. She's still there in P2, doing a remarkable job of considering the weather and the track itself not being exactly the best car for the best track for Apex. Milton Miller went back there in 5th. We haven't talked about him much so far in this race. He's been working back those points in the championship since his retirement in Austria, but like Chloe Thomas, a victory could do wonders for him in the World Championship, and we'll get him right back up there at the front again. Here comes Pernay now, trying to make another move. Sevilla covers that inside line every time. And there goes Sophie Sevilla up wide up the track, but she cuts back down, and it's just about enough for her to hold on to that first place position. And that's caused Pernay to run wide, and technically that's just what Sophie Sevilla wanted. It may have been slightly dangerous and a little bit erratic, but it's allowed her to hold on to this lead in what is a very crucial race. Chloe Thomas looking around, trying to make a move for that second place spot, unable to do so for the time being. It'll be down to Pernay now to pull away from one of the Abbey drivers and catch back up to the other one up front. Below us had a bit of a quiet race behind the leaders. He's doing a good job, but he's unable to get any closer, and it appears that Verbe's only close behind him, so we could be seeing a change in Japan's of the 4th position within a few laps or so. Sevilla still in control here, despite the relentless pressure from both her teammate and her championship rival. She's doing an incredible job as we come around to begin the final 5 laps of the German Grand Prix. Back down to turn 1, it has to be no mistakes from Sophie Sevilla in order to do well and win this race. Chloe Thomas getting right up close behind Alexia Pernay, unable to do anything in regards to making that move for second place. There they come now through the left-hander and back in towards the other right-hander. Nick Milan is going to the pit lane, not quite sure what that's for. Nathan Daigneault trying to make a move, trying to pass, I believe that's Scott Price for the 10th position, so he's trying to score points in 2 consecutive races. And there goes Joe Daly running way wide off the track, and it appears he may have a problem of some kind. He's pulling the car over, and I believe that might be the end of his race. Rico Tanaka runs wide just nearby, but Joe Daly looks like his race is over. We're not quite sure why. And yeah, that is it. He is retiring from the German Grand Prix just like that, out of the race. A transmission issue is what put him out. Mick Milan comes back out onto the racetrack. He moves up into 20th place in that case. Joe Daly though, transmission failure, and he is out of the race in that Dalton Moore. Sophie Sevilla now still in control. Scott Price coming very close to contact. They do make contact, and around goes both cars. There goes Nathan Daigneault, who manages to get past. He manages to recover first. But Scott Price, though, that's the second race in a row that one of the Jaguar RT cars has spun late on in the race due to contact, and that has denied them points once again here. Not at all, we want to see, in just bad luck once again for Jaguar RT. Like I say, 2 races in a row. Last time out on Mugello it was Luca Gatto spinning with Mick Milan with laps to go, and now it's Scott Price who's suffered the exact same fate, only with a different kind of car, and that is just very unfortunate for Jaguar RT. There's 4 laps remaining now. Pernay is now completely ditched Chloe Thomas and left her for dead, and is now trying to close in on once again on Sophie Sevilla for the lead. She's only going to get a few more shots at passing her, and she's going to have to keep the lead herself because we haven't seen her much under pressure in races for the lead all season. So this will be a big challenge for her, the first time she'll have to deal with it, should she take the lead. But as of now, Sophie Sevilla looks to be in complete control, and if anyone's going to win this race, it is her. Down the stretch they fly. Heading in towards the chicane. Take a look at the positions gained and lost. It's definitely quietened down quite a bit, with most drivers returning to their initial positions at the start, apart from Arbeloa, who still has that 1 place gained at the expense of Milton Verve. Nathan Daigneault's gained 4. Of course, Scott Price would have been up in there, but unfortunately he spun on the last lap, and that is the reason he's down in P19, out of contention for any points here today. Pernay still ever charging, closing down on Sophie Sevilla, and she's going to want to try and get past as quickly as she can. But it wouldn't hurt for her to bide her time in order to make a better move on the straight. Sophie Sevilla may have made a mistake there of some kind. She went off her line slightly, and that's allowed Pernay to gain that little bit more time, which could be crucial. And will she go for an attack this time into the chicane? She's definitely close enough. Will she make the move this time? There goes Pernay, trying to look. Nope, not looking this time. Sevilla defends the inside lane, causing Pernay to go the long way around. And they came very close to contact there through the chicane. You couldn't really see it due to the spray, but they came very, very close to blows on track. And there's still a very good chance for Pernay to attack coming out of the last corner and going down towards turn 1. Just 3 more laps to go in this German Grand Prix. And back toward the first corner, 0.3 seconds separating the 2 race leaders. Pernay looking to go around the outside. Sevilla running all over the track, and that could cause her to lose tyre grip in that case. Tyre grip? Look at me. Pernay still in control of that second position, but she still wants more. She wants that lead, and she will not hesitate until she's got it. But Sevilla's defensive driving today has been exceptional. Out of the league right now. We're out of the league with anyone else. She's built that lead back up slightly, just over half a second, and that will be crucial in given the amount of time we have left and the amount of opportunities Pernay has left to try and attack and make a move for the lead late on in this race. With the gap between the two, they're running the same sort of line. Of course, that move a few laps ago that Sevilla made, no action was given by race control regarding whether the move was dangerous or not, so we'll have to assume it was clean, fair racing in that regard. Pernay still getting close. The slipstream, even in the wet, is still very, very effective around the Nürburgring on a track with quite a few straights and very little technical sections. There's still very little room for error for Sevilla later on in this Grand Prix. She's close once again, back down to 0.3 seconds. She won't go for a move this time, I believe. But Sevilla once again defending that inside line, but for no good reason, and that's just allowed Pernay to close in maybe a little bit more. Sevilla pulls away now. She's trying to stretch that gap once again, but Pernay will not make her life too easy as they come out of the last corner. Just 2 more laps left to go at the Nürburgring. And this race is by no means over. The gap is still half a second. You've got Sevilla moving around from side to side, going down towards that first corner like she has in recent laps. No mistakes from either one of these two, and that does mean that Sevilla will come out on top. Meanwhile, behind them, Milton Verve is still trying to close down on Sergio Arbeloa to get those extra points. And it would appear that Max Schmidt has just gone into the pit lane here. Not quite sure what that's about. He may have made contact. That allows Luigi Marchetta up into P14, adding to a very good weekend for him at Morimoto. Of course, beating his teammate Riki Tanaka. And that's always good because the first rival in Formula A, or any motorsport for that matter, is your teammate, and that's the person you're trying to beat. So yeah, Max Schmidt there in the pit lane. Sevilla still in complete control here. We've just got a lap and a half to go, and short of a mistake, or Pernay really getting the hammer down and closing in, it looks like she may win this race. She controlled the race from the start. Her start was spectacular compared to the Apex driver behind her, and that's what's given her this race at this point. That and her defensive driving, as we've mentioned many times during this race. I believe I see Luca Gatto closing in on Milton Verve. That could be crucial. But meanwhile, Pernay, his teammate up front, still looking to try and challenge the Spaniard in the lead. Provided she doesn't go for a move at the wrong time, and she could win this race potentially, because there's only got a lap left to try and do it. And she's got to close in now. It could be now or never for Alexia Pernay. Last chance saloon as El Padre rounds the last chicane. And going down onto the final lap now. We're going to ride on board with Pernay down towards the first corner. Will she get close enough to make a move? She's definitely closing in towards that first corner. Does she go for it? Sevilla losing quite a bit of time there. And there goes Pernay up the inside, and they come very close to contact. And Sevilla runs wide but still holds on to the lead. And that came very close. Pernay could have seized the opportunity, but did not manage to. But she's still right there. So this race is in no way over. If we can get a last lap pass, we haven't seen a closer finish like this in any of the first 4 races of the season, and it looks like we're going to get one now. But it all depends on whether Pernay decides to make a move too early or too late. She's got to go at just the right time if she is going to go, and these next corners here could serve that right opportunity if she gets a good exit. Look how close she is off the corner, and here they come down towards the right hander for the last time. Pernay looking to the inside. Sevilla continues to defend. They come close, and they come very close to contact. Sevilla goes wide, and she once again cuts off Alexia Pernay, and that's going to allow Chloe Thomas to get closer. And once again, that same move has caused her to grow that lead once again, and that may give her this race. It looks like she's going to win by just under a second. But Pernay's still in the running for this thing, and if Sevilla makes a mistake, then she can still win this race. I wouldn't say it's over yet, because here comes the French driver right back, closing right back in. Look how close she's getting now. And here they come for the last time. This is going to be Pernay's last chance. In towards the chicane they come for the final time. Sevilla defends, and that's going to allow Pernay to close back in. And coming out of the last corner, she's given everything she can, but for Pernay it wasn't quite enough. For Sophie Sevilla, it came close, and she very nearly lost the lead in this race on 2 occasions in that final lap, but she's held on, and she will win at the Nürburgring. Sophie Sevilla wins the German Grand Prix, round number 5 of the season. Pernay comes home a well-fought 2nd place, 3rd place going to Chloe Thomas after a consistent afternoon. Sergio Arbeloa 4th, Milton Verve in 5th, Luca Gatto finishes 6th, Mohamed El Hadri holds Oscar Diaz for 8th, for 7th, sorry, Pascal Becker finishes 9th, another poor race for him, and Nathan Dagnot has managed to hold on and come rounds to claim his 2nd points finish of the season for Abbey Academy Grand Prix. A very impressive job from him today, but it's the driver for the main team Sophie Sevilla, who has emerged victorious here at the Nürburgring, and what an exciting final lap. We just witnessed a very close finish there, just about half a second separating the leaders across the line, and it just proves how close the racing can be in the wet weather. Well, not too bad a race for our first wet Grand Prix of the season, so with that, let's take a look at the final results from today's race. So it's Sophie Sevilla who wins the race over Alexia Pernay by just half a second, Chloe Thomas rounding out the podium, Sergio Arbeloa in 4th, Milton Verve 5th, and it's Luca Gatto, Mohamed El Hadre, Oscar Diaz, Pascal Becker and Nathan Digno scoring his next few points of the season. Of course, you've got a feel for Scott Price, who spun late on, and Joe Daly and Liam Turton, who both failed to finish the race. Take a look at how that affects the Drivers' Championship now, and Alexia Pernay still holding on to that lead, but Sophie Sevilla has closed that gap a little bit now. The gap down to just 16 points. Sergio Arbeloa now back down to 3rd, Chloe Thomas 4th, and Milton Verve still in 5th place. So not too bad for them in the championship as of now, but unfortunately those drivers at Apex have lost the lead to Abbey Grand Prix in the Constructors' Championship. They now stand 21 points ahead, but Fireside still lurking in 3rd due to Becker's poor performances in recent races. Dalton Moore still 4th, Axel 76 and XCT now tied for 5th place in the standings, Jagger RT 6th, and Abbey Academy Grand Prix 7th. We hope you enjoyed today's race, and we hope to join us next time for the Turkish Grand Prix at Istanbul Park. Make sure to like, share and subscribe, and as always, we'll have to wait for the next race to see you guys again. Goodbye.